Hi everybody. So right now I'm just going to tell you like an intro into stretching. Like a lot of people think that I'm really flexible and a lot of people think that it's genetics, but it's really not genetics. Like contortionists, they train like all the time. Right now I am at the Hard Rock Casino in Vegas, even though I'm a Vegas local, but I'm at the pole convention to train with like professionals. So the way that I became flexible was that I just watched YouTube videos and then I just pushed and pushed and pushed. Um, Someone at the gym, I was at the gym in Austin, Texas. Somebody asked me, like, it was a guy and he was like really buff and like muscular and stuff. And he was in jujitsu and he wanted to know how I became like so flexible. I mean, I'm not anywhere near contortionist flexible. Like the people, my goal is to put my butt to the back of my head in a back bend. Like if you know about contortionists, I'm sure that you've seen it before. I mean, I can put my head to my feet, like between my feet, like my feet can be right here. Um, but like my butt is not sitting on my head yet. But so at the gym, like I practiced that, and he asked me like how did I become so flexible, and I'm gonna show you. And right now I'm gonna give you a few pointers to like help you get into that level, I guess. So what I do when I'm stretching is um, I just remind myself that I'm stretching a tendon or a muscle. Like it's not gonna break, okay? Like you could feel it and you just push and you relax and you think about relaxing the muscle as you're stretching it to its maximum stretching point. Um, so the next video I'm going to post is a video on how to get your Chinese splits. I've seen a lot of contortionists that can do like some crazy stuff, and they can do like the they can do like a straight leg and like get the straight leg all the way up, but they can't get their Chinese splits, which is really funny because I think the Chinese splits is a whole lot easier than they call it. I think it's the needle. Um, the needle is where like this, you're like this, and you're basically like flat that way in the split. Like you're flat this way in the splits. For me, that's really hard. Like I can do the pigeon and I can pull my foot and I'll pull it as hard as I can, and it's like, I don't know, just, I don't have it yet, but I can do the Chinese splits, and basically, I have to stretch, like, every day to get it, like, every day. I always stretch before work, like, because I'm an exotic dancer, a pole dancer, and stuff, and, so I stretch every day before work, like an hour to 2 hours before work, because I've had a pole injury before, and those suck. I mean, you can see like on my wrists, like this one. This one is sticks out a whole lot because I was doing like a pole move and I was holding all my body weight up like this. And it's like a simple move, and I've done it a lot, but one time, it just popped like 3 times, and I was like, oh my god, that can't be a good sign. So actually, stretching, it helps prevent injuries. So he was like trying to like ask me how do I get that far, and what I do is I just breathe through, and I focus on relaxing that muscle as I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can and pulling with my other muscles. Like say, like in the Chinese splits, like you're doing this. That's kind of hard to see me, but in the Chinese splits you're going like this, and you're pulling with your butt muscles, like you're pulling your glutes this way, and you're focusing on relaxing those inner thigh muscles. And I just breathe, like, it doesn't always feel great, like sometimes it does hurt, like it's gonna feel intense if you're going to push past what you're normally used to, but like after a while, and say like you practice for an hour, like the muscle, it loosens up and it feels good, like the stretch, it feels good, and you push and you breathe, and that's basically how you stretch a muscle, to get into whatever move that you're trying to get into. He also asked me, like, he says that he's worried that he's gonna break in half or something, or he's gonna hurt himself, but like, stretching, it really prevents injuries more than it injures you. Like, you look like you might be injured, like, you look like totally discombobulated, but like it feels good. And if you look totally discombobulated, you reach that point kind of like a runner's high. It's like a stretch high. It's like your body, it feels good, and it's like relaxed, and yeah, like it feels intense, but it's like you focus on relaxing that muscle. And like, no, you have to like know how to focus. Like, another guy at the gym who I saw at a club later, like, it was kind of funny because he was like, do you just do things at the gym to make people like stare at you? And I was like, no. Actually, I usually work out at home alone, because like if I'm at the gym, like people like do tend to stare at me, because like I train abnormally, like I do abnormal things that normal people don't do, since I'm trying to become even more flexible than the average person. Like I'm trying to contortion train, like, so I don't focus on other people around me. Like, I'm in my own head at the gym, like especially at the gym, like in Austin, Texas. Like, I train at home in Vegas, and I was visiting Austin, Texas for a little while to like take some pole dancing classes, and so I had to go to the gym because I wasn't in Vegas where I have my home gym where I train like every day. And it's funny because he says, like, are you doing things to make people stare at you? Like, when I'm at home, like, I go a lot harder than when I'm in public, because if I went as hard as I did at the gym, they probably think that I was a crazy person. I mean, people already sort of think that I'm crazy, but it's like, say, when you're, like, doing deep stretching and stuff, like gymnastics or whatever, like, you do flips to warm up. So, like, at home, like, I'll do flips or whatever to, like, warm my spine up, like, my spinal cord, my spinal muscles. So right now I'm wearing a waist trainer because they keep your whole spine warm, and muscles tend to flex better when they're warm. Like, say, if I do the Chinese splits every day, it's, like, really easy for me. It feels good. Like, I can even do overextended splits. But I haven't done the splits in, like, 3 days or something because, I don't know, I've just been slacking. I've just been, like, so busy, like, packing for the Pole Expo, getting back from Austin, Texas, and unpacking and then repacking. So I've just been, like, kind of busy, and I haven't had time to train. So I can't do the Chinese splits, like, right now this second, but, like, I'm going to show you how to do the Chinese splits in a second and how I get there in the next video that I post. Let's see, did I forget anything? Yeah, so, like, at the gym and in stretching, especially if you're in public, like, you can't necessarily, like, focus on what's around you. Like, when I'm at the gym, like, I block everybody and everything out, and I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. Did I get both sides, you know, and like which one should I do more, or which one should I do less of, or which leg felt more tense when I was doing the stretching. So that's pretty much what I think of when I'm like at the gym, like working out, is because like you just have to stay focused, and like there's so much stuff going around you and like people. So actually I always have my headphones on because it's like it helps me block everything out. And ever since I've been stretching a lot more, I've never had a pull injury since I've stretched, you know. And that guy at the gym was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna break. Like, you won't break. You can feel the muscles, and you can feel if you're gonna break yourself or hurt yourself. Like, at first it hurts, okay? It's gonna hurt a little, or it's gonna feel intense, but it's a muscle, it's a tendon. You have to keep reminding yourself that. You're not trying to bend a bone. You're not trying to bend a bone. You're trying to bend and flex a muscle, and a muscle, it bends. It's not like a bone. So you have to remind yourself that. And yeah. So when I first started pole dancing and when I was younger, like I didn't take it seriously as much, and like I've pulled muscles before because I didn't stretch before doing pole dancing because I was like less responsible back then. And it doesn't feel too great, and like this wrist that I hurt pole dancing, like it might never be the same. I mean, this was like years ago, and I quit dancing. I quit pole dancing for a full year so that it could properly heal. And even now, like it pops sometimes. Like I don't know if it'll ever be the same. So yeah, so don't forget to stretch. All right. And I'll show you the next video on how to stretch and get into your Chinese splits in an hour.